This has been a long overdue settlement that was negotiated by the Biden administration. The deal was on the table for the last 7 months at least. And the Trump effect was crucial here to force the Israeli government really, because the war lost any sense. The only sense that it had was the survival, the political survival of the current Israeli government. And Netanyahu was really forced to accept the deal and go ahead with it, and hoping that his government would survive. Now the deal is quite complex and fragile, as you mentioned, because there is a second stage in which negotiations will have to take place for Israel to completely disengage from the Strip. And this has a domestic political price for Netanyahu, and we'll have to see if he can resist. Now, hopefully, Hamas would not commit any errors during this interim stage between the first one and the second one that would give a pretext or a reason for Israel to respond militarily. So this is what we have. The problem is that there is no political post-war agreement really. Who is going to replace, if anybody is going to replace Hamas? Because if Hamas stays in power, in spite of the Carthaginian destruction of the Strip and the very, very high price that Hamas paid both militarily and in civilian losses, if they stay in power, so this is their victory, really. I mean, because the question was from the very beginning, is Israel going to obliterate politically, not only militarily, politically, Hamas or not? For the time being, Hamas has resisted any political objective to do away with them. And that's the major question in my view. If Hamas stays in power, you can expect another war and another war and another war. That's the question right now.
As you say, neither Israel or the United States have come up with a post-war plan for Gaza. And on another point, I agree with you. I think the Trump effect here was very, very significant. His threat that there would be hell to pay in the Middle East if there wasn't a deal before his inauguration has clearly put a time pressure on these negotiations, and it has appeared to work. Joe Biden had a lot of time to get this done. President Biden did not get this done. Let's also talk about what happens next here, because this is an extremely complex deal, a long roadmap of dates and demands, as you say. How confident are you that this ceasefire will hold, and will Netanyahu actually hold up to his side of the bargain?
I think, again, the pressure coming from Trump is vital. This government here in Israel and the right-wing allies of Netanyahu had sort of messianic expectations that Trump will realize all their wild dreams in the West Bank of settling, of annexing the West Bank. Now suddenly they got a reminder that Trump has other priorities. He doesn't want to engage in another war in the Middle East, not even perhaps with Iran, which is again one of the wild dreams and expectations of the current government, that he will back Israel attacking Iran. I don't believe that he will do so. I think that his objective is to try and strike a new nuclear deal with Iran, and perhaps extend the Abraham Peace Accords to include Saudi Arabia. These are his major objectives, and the war in Gaza is not helpful. And he will put atomic pressure on the Israeli government to abide by the agreement, and I hope that this is what Hamas will do. But again, as I said, what happens on the Palestinian front, politically speaking, is the Palestinian Authority going to join Hamas in the administration of Gaza, yes or not? Because without the Palestinian Authority joining the administration of Gaza, it will be extremely difficult to see Qatari and Emirati financial efforts for the reconstruction of the Strip. So, for Trump to materialize his vision, he needs some sort of a political solution on the Palestinian front, and this might bring the current Israeli government to disintegration. I mean, this is a government that cannot sustain a political process in Palestine. They want an extended Abraham Peace Accords, but without paying in Palestinian currency. This won't work. This is impossible, and therefore we can foresee the possibility of a major domestic political crisis here in Israel.